This week on the Second Act Entrepreneur Show, you are learning all about how to grow your email list quickly and effectively, and why it's more critical now than it ever has been before to ensure that you're growing your list and not relying on social media to bring you sales. So tune into this week's show. You're going to get a step-by-step guide to not only why growing your email list is really important right now, but also how to get started and how to ensure that you're moving people towards the path of buying from you. So without further ado, let's dive in. Hey there, I'm Elisa Connor, ex-corporate marketer turned entrepreneur. And along the way, I made all the mistakes just so you don't have to. Chances are you have a pretty full career. You've got experience, expertise, and probably a whole lot of education. The problem is people can't find you. This is why each week on the Second Act Entrepreneur Show, we feature expert education, marketing insights, and mindset shifts that are going to help you create a profitable business so you can secure your legacy, ensuring that you thrive not only in your first career, but also your second act. Welcome to the Second Act Entrepreneur Show. So I recently read this quote in an email that I got because, yes, I do read my email. And I thought it was so powerful. And it comes from Adam Mosseri, who's the head of Instagram. He used to work for Facebook. He was on the C-level board of Facebook, and now he runs Instagram. And what he said in a recent TED Talk was, power is shifting. History has taught us that technology will take power from the establishment and give it to individuals. And with that quote, he went on to say that people should own their data rather than having it harvested and monetized by big tech companies. Now, I really want you to pay attention to that, because if you are hearing from a major social media platform like Instagram that you should be collecting your own data and not relying on big companies to have that data for you, it's time to open our eyes and pay attention, because the world is shifting. And that doesn't mean we need to panic, but it does mean we need to put a plan in place. And that plan, my friends, is growing your email list. Now, if you've tuned into the show at all, you know that I'm a big proponent of owning your email list. And there are a few things going on in the world right now that just reiterate the importance of us moving people from social media, from our website, from all of the marketing activities that we do for our business into our email list. And the big one is very simple to understand. You don't own any of the real estate online. I don't care if you're paying for ads. I don't care if you're posting every single day on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, any other number of places that are not coming to my mind right now. You don't own that real estate. That is owned by the people that own those platforms. And if you have not been aware, or maybe you don't know, they change the rules all of the time. And it's getting harder and harder to stand out on those platforms. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But before we dive into that, I want to talk about how this translates into growing your email list. So your email list is the only marketing asset you actually have that you control, and you control it 100%. So when you decide to email your list and you decide you want to put maybe a new promotion in front of them, or your new product, or just some news updates, you have control over when that email goes out, what is in that email, when they receive it. And you can even go as far as seeing, do they open it? Do they click on it? How far did they go down the path? All of those things. When your email list is strong, your business is strong. And so it is imperative at this point that you are growing an email list. And so if you aren't dedicating time, or you're not dedicating energy, or you haven't put a strategy around that, I want to implore you to do that quickly. And it's not difficult to do. But there are some other things going on in the world, especially with social media, that I want to make you aware of. Because a lot of times, if you're not in this world of living, breathing, and dying with marketing like I am, you don't know. And so I'm here to empower you with knowledge so that you do know and you can make decisions for your business that are going to be not only for today, but long term. So the other thing that I have been noticing is that a lot of Facebook accounts, Instagram accounts, and TikTok accounts are getting shut down. And some of them are for just ridiculous reasons. The latest one that I read was because somebody used too many emojis in a post. So there's a couple of things that I want to make you aware of. One is that you should definitely have at least 2 other people as admins on your business account. And there's a reason for this. And if you don't know how to do this, let me know in the comments and I'll do a video on how to set this up. But the reason being is that if you get locked out of your account and you're the only admin on there, you're in deep doo-doo. Like you can't get in ever again. And so you basically have lost every opportunity to get into your business account and possibly your personal account, depending on how they're connected. So that's number 1. But 2, if they shut down your account, that means you cannot post, you cannot get to your followers, you are shut down. You can't get in at all. And so that's really detrimental if you've built your business on a social media platform. And there are many, many people who have done this. I see a lot of people that are newer entrepreneurs that are specifically doing this on Instagram and TikTok. And then if they get shut down for some random reason, it is like the end of the earth. And I'm like, well, that is the number 1 reason you don't build your business on somebody else's real estate. And then the other thing that is happening, which I'm sure you're aware of, is that Elon Musk is buying Twitter or has bought Twitter. And I don't have an opinion necessarily about him buying Twitter, but what I do take note of is some of the things that he said in the media about what he wants to do with Twitter. And the one that made my ears perk up is that he has mentioned on multiple occasions that he intends to start charging certain users, read people that create content, my interpretation, to be on that platform. And so why does that concern you? Maybe you're like, I'm not even on Twitter. I don't care. Well, typically, social media platforms will follow suit of one another. And so I would imagine, in fact, I will predict that if that comes to fruition and he does indeed start charging creators to be on that platform or to post on that platform, that other social media platforms will follow suit, including Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Because let's face it, those companies are not in business to promote your business. Those companies are in business to make money. And that seems to be something that people have forgotten about. These are publicly held entities that are in business to make money. And people think that because they have ill-advisedly built their entire business on a social media platform, that they have some say in the matter, and you don't. And so that's why I want to take the time to do this episode today, because there are ways to avoid all of that. So what it comes down to is that the people who start adopting building their email list now and make that a powerful asset in their business will be the differentiator between those who succeed and survive and those who do not. I read a statistic recently that 1.5 million people have started small businesses in the last 2 years. 1.5 million people. And that was astounding to me. Not surprising, but a little bit astounding that it was that many people. And you will see a big shift when social media changes, because they will. If you've been around at all, you know that platforms change regularly. That how many of those businesses still exist in a year or 2 years or 3 years. So I want you to be one of the people that succeeds and is around long term. And to do that, it's going to take you putting people onto your list and nurturing, building relationships, and moving them through to the purchase cycle. So one of the things that I recently had a conversation about on LinkedIn, because I'm over on LinkedIn. If you guys haven't connected with me over there yet, connect with me. I love to meet new people and learn more about your business. And I'm always open to, helping you out, taking a look at your stuff and giving you a second set of eyes. So I had a conversation with somebody else, and the two sides of the argument were your website is more important than your email list. And I had to disagree because, of course, she is a website copywriter, so she's going to think that way. But the reality is that growing your email list is even more important than your website. Now, you may be asking, okay, why is that? I'll bite. Well, the reason is that you don't control how often or if somebody can come to your website or goes to your website. You can't control whether or not they go to multiple pages. You can't control whether or not they're going to fill out your opt-in form. You can do all of the things. You can run ads. You can write the copy. You can have a beautifully designed website. You can have it go really fast. But the reality is you cannot control what that person will do when they arrive at your domain or your landing page or whatever that is. You don't have any control over that. However, if somebody fills out a form and says, alrighty, yes, indeedy, I want to be on your list, you then have access to their information and are able to get in front of them with your email as frequently or infrequently as you want. And when you dedicate and create a strategy around that email marketing, it is such a strong piece of your business that it actually calculates to a 40 to 100% return on investment. Every dollar you put in, you're going to get $42 back out. Nobody else can claim that as far as a marketing tactic. So yes, your website is important. It is real estate that you own, but getting people on your email list is more important because you have the ability to get in front of them when you want, and you're not relying on them showing up on your website and not getting distracted and not, being interrupted by one of 14,000 things that happen in our daily lives to move forward. And so one of the examples I give is that when you have a planned out email marketing strategy, you not only can get in front of your people on a regular basis with, like, say, an update or a newsletter or, regular podcast episodes that you're putting out there, whatever it might be, but you can also put your promotions, your new products. You can ask them for ideas, you can get feedback. But most importantly, if you are, let's say you're an e-commerce shop, for example, and somebody has gone and they've put 3 or 4 things in their cart, and then all of a sudden the phone rings, the doorbell rings, Amazon's here, kids need dinner, and that window is closed. Well, you have the opportunity, as if they're on your email list, to go back and send them an email and go, hey, by the way, you have this stuff in your cart. Did you want to buy it? And that is called, my friends, an abandoned cart email series. I don't have the stat in front of me, but the increase in conversion is quite significant if you can send just that simple email. And it's worked for me. Like, I'm sure you've had things in your cart, Amazon, or I have been on a lot of different craft supply websites, and they are really, really good at this. But just getting people to move forward and click the checkout button with email, it wouldn't be possible without email. Sure, you can run ads and you can do all those things, but if they are seeing it in their inbox, the likelihood that they're going to convert and go purchase those things is much, much higher. So how can you increase the number of people on your email list? How do you get more contacts in your email marketing campaign? How do you, create excitement for people so that they want to get on your list? Well, the number one way is, one, to focus on growth and not numbers. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I only have one person, or I only got one new person on my list this week. Well, that's one more person you get to serve. And when you focus on, hey, I have one new person, that's awesome. I wonder what I can do for them, rather than, oh, I want 5,000 and I have one. That's a very different mindset shift. So one, it's focusing on how much you're growing versus the number of subscribers, because there are people that have 200 or 300 subscribers on their email list that are making multiple 6 figures. So big email list numbers don't mean a lot if they're not engaged and they're not the right people. And a lot of people will go out and buy email lists and they're like, oh, I gotta have all these people in there. But if they're not your ideal client, you are wasting your time, you're wasting your money, and you're just making people mad because they don't want to be on your list. But more importantly, you need to have an exciting, engaging, and irresistible lead magnet. And a lot of people have just created a lead magnet based on, oh, I should create this. I have it already set up and I'm just going to put it on my website and I'm going to put it out there and see what happens. And then they don't get anybody subscribing and they wonder why. And the reality is there are specific things that need to be considered when you're creating a lead magnet. And it has to be so stinking good that people are basically licking their lips and can't wait to get their chops in it so that they will hand over their email address and their name. And I have had so many entrepreneurs struggle with this. And I've had so many people ask me questions about this on social media and in comments on different videos and emails and all kinds of things. So not only are they excited to get that email, that free download, but they are so excited about the free download when they get it that they're telling their friends and their friends are telling their friends. And you see how this can exponentially grow your list. So you may be thinking to yourself, okay, I have a crappy lead magnet. If you do, you can totally raise your hand. It's okay. You're not alone. Everyone creates crappy lead magnets, and that's part of the process. But if you're struggling with that and you're struggling with how to choose a topic, how to pick the best lead magnet for your people so that they actually engage in and open it and move on to, getting to know you, putting it into action, all of those things. If you struggle with how to promote or where to promote your lead magnet, if you don't understand the software to set up the connection between your email software and your opt-in form and your website, all that stuff, or if you don't know how to measure to see what is working and what isn't working, then I, my friends, have a solution for you. I am offering a free training. It is coming up on June 15th, and it is called the Create an Irresistible Lead Magnet That Works. Pretty simple. And you can attend for free. Registration is currently open. You can go register at alisaconnor.com/lead magnet. I will put the link in the show notes. And you can just go and click on it and get yourself registered, but it's going to be a free training. I'm going to cover all 5 of those areas, how to choose a topic, how to choose what kind of lead magnet you're going to do, where to promote it, which software to use, and how to figure out what's the best solution for you, as well as what are some metrics you need to look at to see whether or not it's working. And so if you are struggling with your lead magnet, this is the training for you. And the registration is open currently. It's happening June 15th it will be noon Eastern, 10 Mountain, 9 Central. That was a lot. So if you are in a different part of the world, I apologize, but I do not have the time zone calculated, but just know it's noon Eastern and then calculate your own. But I would very much like to see you inside. So again, go to alisaconnor.com/lead magnet, and you can go get enrolled and get in that training and get your lead magnet done and ready to hit the streets. So on to another suggestion, step number 2 of growing your email list. Now you may be thinking, she's pretty down on social media, because I did kind of give you the 411 on what's happening. But social media is a great way to add subscribers to your list and put the word out there. Like, hey, I got this great new lead magnet. And it's ultimately moving people from the platform you're on to your email list. So in that respect, that could be part of your strategy is, yes, promote it on social media. Yes, talk about it on social media. Just make sure they're taking the next step to get onto your list. Now, it is also an opportunity for you to advertise, do some paid advertising to get some more eyeballs on your lead magnet. Now, there's a whole strategy behind running Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok ads. I don't want to dive into that today because that could be really complicated and very specific to your business. But just know it is a possibility to run ads. It is also a possibility for you to promote it for free, doing one of the millions of things that you can do on social media to promote it, including stories, a short form video, long form video, carousel posts, which is multiple photos. You could do just a regular photo post. You could do a live. There's a million ways to promote this. But it is one step for people to get to know you further without having to invest a lot besides their name and their email address. So think of social media as a tool to grow your list, and that will help you out a lot when you're trying to figure out what to post, where to go, all of those sorts of things. But ultimately it comes down to the last piece, which is you got to have a plan for whatever you're going to do, however you're going to move people to your list, And I don't care if you are being a guest on a podcast. I don't care if you're doing a live video. I don't care. However it is you're getting the word out there about what you do. A lot of times coaches, speakers, and authors are one and the same. And they are in all of those realms. But a lot of times you're asked to speak somewhere and you go up and you give your talk, and then maybe you're trying to sell things at the back of the room. Or maybe you can't sell from the stage at all. But you almost always have the opportunity to give away a gift, a free resource, which is, guess what? Your lead magnet. And when you have thought through that plan and you make it easy for people to get to that lead magnet, you can grow your email list from each of those opportunities. And so the key to that is you've got to have a really kick-ass lead magnet, because they're not going to want something that's already talked about in your presentation or that isn't going to take them further than what you've already given them. And that's where people kind of go wrong. And so, and trust me, I've done it. I probably have created 50 lead magnets in the last 2 years. So there is a lot of testing and things that go on with lead magnets. You're not going to get it perfect the first time, and that's okay. But it also gives you the opportunity to take something you've done and tweak it and make it better. And then ultimately it will turn into the best list grower for your business. So that is the shebang of, where the world is going with social media and marketing and different things, and how important it is for you to start growing your list. But the takeaways from this episode are: 1, always be growing your list. Always, no matter what you're doing on social media and for your marketing efforts, it doesn't matter how you decide to promote or advertise your business, grow your email list. Move them to your email list, because it gives you the power to then get in front of those people. Number 2, move your followers from social media to your email list. Like, you might have a bunch of people on your that are following you on any given platform, but if they haven't moved over to your email list, you don't have anything. You have an empty basket, and that you don't want that. And to do that, of course, you need to create an irresistible lead magnet, not something that is just, crappy. People don't want crappy lead magnet. They want something really good that's going to help them get a quick win. Now, if you struggle with that, just a reminder, I am holding that free training, and you can go register and learn all about what we're going to talk about at elisaconnor.com/leads. And if you didn't catch all of the pieces that were going to be in that training, no worries. It's all on that page, elisaconnor.com/leads. So, the other thing we talked about is using social media to promote and advertise your lead magnet so that you can move people to your list. And then last but not least, always have a plan. So I so appreciate you tuning in this week. I would love to see you in that free training. Go and register now. It's happening, and I can't believe it. It's happening in less than 2 weeks. But it's going to be a great training. You're going to learn a lot. And at the end of the day, you're going to have all the tools you need to create that lead magnet that's going to grow your list, so that you can then have the opportunity to get in front of your people when you're ready, and also to build the relationship and the know, like, trust, because ultimately it comes down to people doing business with people, and emails are a great way to build that relationship. So thanks so much for tuning in this week. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you next week. I am fully on the mend, and so I will not be missing any more episodes. So thanks so much for tuning in, and take care, and I'll see you soon. Did you miss something during the podcast? Maybe forgot to take notes? No worries. We've taken all the notes for you. All the resources, links, and information in this episode you can find over at elisaconnor.com/podcast. That's ALISACONNER.com/podcast. Looking forward to seeing you next week.